fish. Now I'm sure the Brexit buying mob, well, will consider this as some kind of Brexit win. But it's backfiring with negative feelings towards the English by the French people, who have a history of holding a grudge, and most definitely know how to protest, stern protests at that. Now let's put that shoe on the other foot. Let's say, for instance, you were a fisherman, and you just invested in a fishing boat. You put your neck on the block with marine mortgage. Put your house up as collateral. Because of the status quo. There was no problems as far as you were concerned when you made that application for that marine mortgage. Made that investment. But then that rug gets pulled out from underneath you. Because of a whole load of xenophobic, foolish Brits who put that cross in the wrong box and ripped the UK out of the European Union. In some cases, it was due to the fishing policy. Fishing policies that many British fishermen actually sold to EU fishermen. I say EU fishermen, that was, well, I suppose at the time they were in the EU, but yeah, okay, on the continent. Maybe to the French, maybe to the Spanish, maybe to the Dutch. Either way, they sold them. Well, one thing I have learnt recently, after reading certain newspapers, and I put a thing up on Reddit asking questions on a fishing group, I guarantee you the sentiment towards the English is rather negative amongst those who live in coastal towns here in France. And, well, they've been directly affected by the Brexit. Now, communities that once thrived on the ability to fish waters for shellfish and mackerel, well, they don't have a good word to say about the English. No. And their Brexit. I just want my Brexit. Well, this is the feeling that I get after, like I say, reading local and national newspapers. Also, like I said, I put a thing on Reddit to see what the sentiment was, and it was all negative. In fact, some was actually very offensive. In fact, but there you go. They're not happy, are they? No. And in regards to the French fishing boats, they're being, recycled, you could say. They're actually being scrapped, more like. Well, anyway, while you're here, please boop the old like button, and there will be a secret word at the end of this video. A secret word! Not going to tell you yet. No. And if you want to support the channel, you can do that on Patreon or buy us a coffee. And the links are down below. There's also a GoFundMe link if you like. But we're also planting trees here in France, 1,000 trees on 2 hectares of land. And if you want to be part of that, there's a GoFundMe link down below where you can buy a tree, and I'll plant a tree on your behalf. And I'll make a sign to go with the tree with your name on, or maybe in memory of a loved one or a pet, what have you. We're also making, animal habitats as well, such as bird boxes, bat boxes, etc. Anyway, I continue. Well, because of the Brexit, as I call it, Britain fishing boats, they must be dismantled and destroyed. And their owners are, well, they are compensated, but the fall's flat. Since in many cases, generations of French fisher families' heritage is, well, halted with Brexit. That rug was pulled clearly from underneath their feet. The French boats now, many of them, are banned from fishing in English waters. And now they've been forced to be dismantled piece after piece, their boats. And the first fishing vessels, they were destroyed in the port of Brest in Finistère, where dismantled. Well, about 5 of them were dismantled just a few days ago, under the eyes of the skippers. And one emotional French fisher said, "I've been in it for 22 years. And when you buy a boat, you're always in it. And when you're on the water or land, it's all the same." Then he says it's a waste. But we have no choice. It's part of life. But we will be paid to break our boats. But compared to what we lose, it is no compensation. It was our heritage. Well, a total of 164 applications were filed. 4 ships deprived of access to British waters after Brexit. because old numpties put that cross in the wrong box. Yeah, I said it again. Ripped the UK out of the European Union. Well, 90 applications were accepted, which means they receive a share of the monies allowed and from the European Union in compensation. But to do that, or to receive that, they have to scrap their boats. Great, eh? And these boats represent around 3% of the French fishing fleet in the regions. But, here comes a big but. This is the feeling that I get, and also what people have said who live in those areas, in the French fishing towns on the coast of France. Your Brexit is definitely backfiring. Are you planning to go on holiday anytime soon? Well, Brexit is damaging our relationships with the French people. Not just the government, but with the French people themselves. It's not just the fact you can't get your tomatoes just in time, no. Or having to replace them with turnips. No. Visiting Brits to French coastal towns may want to be a little bit careful. Yeah, they may not be met with the same hospitality as they did before Brexit. And you may not notice. No, you might think everything is okay. But from what I've been told, the Frenchmen can hold a grudge, they can. And there's no telling what they will do to your beer while you're not looking. Dip a ball, one, maybe two. Anyway, on that note, my secret word of the day is grudge. And I'm not talking about, there's a Japanese film in it, but anyway, a film called The Grudge. No, they're French. They can hold a grudge. Oh dear. They protest in many ways, including dipping a ball. Okay, there you go. Ta-ta.